And maybe that was love. Being so vulnerable and allowing someone else in so far they could hurt you, but they also give you everything. How could he convey to someone who'd never even met her the way she always smelled like rain, or how his stomach knotted up every time he saw her shake, loose her hair from its braid? How could he describe how it felt when she finished his sentences, turn the mug they were sharing so that her mouth landed where his had been? How did he explain the way they could be in a locker room, or underwater, or in the piney woods of Maine? Bus, as long as M was with him, he was at home. Millions of people are suffering. They want to be loved, but they don't know how to love. And love cannot exist as a monologue. It is a dialogue, a very harmonious dialogue. All the problem of women starts with men. All the problem of men ends with women. I just looked at her, feeling utterly empty. I didn't know what I was supposed to say to her. My life is in that bed. Please let me stay. She can be a nightmare, but this still feels better than any dream. This is what I know. Don't settle for 40, 50, or even 80%. Shouldn't be too small or too tight or even a little scratchy. It shouldn't take up space in your closet out of guilty conscience or convenience or a moment of desire. Do you hear me? It should be perfect for you. It should be lasting. Wait for 100%. It shattered something inside me that hadn't been broken before, except Fang. I glared at him. Go on, try to stop me, I dare you. It was like the old days when we used to wrestle, each trying to get the better of the other. I was ready to take him down, my hands curled into fist. I was just going to say, be careful, Fang told me. He stepped closer and brushed some hair out of my eyes, and I've got your back. He motioned with his head toward the torpedo chamber. Oh my God, it hit me like a tsunami then. How perfect he was for me. How no one else could ever be so perfect for me. How he was everything I could possibly hope for, as a friend, boyfriend, maybe even more. He was it for me. There would be no more looking. I really, really loved him, with a whole new kind of love I'd never felt before. Something that made every other kind of love I'd ever felt feel washed out and wimpy in comparison. I loved him with every cell in my body, every thought in my head, every feather in my wings, every breath in my lungs, and air sacs. Too bad I was going out to face almost certain death. Right there in front of everyone, I threw my arms around his neck and smashed my mouth against his. He was startled for a second. Then his strong arms wrapped around me so tightly I could hardly breathe. Somj, I heard Nudge whisper, but still Fang and I kissed, slanting our heads this way and that to get closer. I could have stood there and kissed him happily for the next millennium, but Angel, or what was left of her, was still out there in the cold, dark ocean. Reluctantly, I ended the kiss, took a step back. Fang's obsidian eyes were glittering brightly, and his stoic face had a look of wonder on it. Gotta go, I said quietly. A half smile quirked his mouth. Yeah, hurry back. I nodded, and he stepped out of the airlock chamber, keeping his eyes fixed on me, memorizing me as he hit the switch that sealed the chamber. The doors hissed shut with a kind of finality, and I realized that my heart was beating so hard it felt like it was going to start snapping ribs. I was scared. I was crazily, deeply, incredibly, joyously, terrifyingly in love. I was on a death mission. Before my head simply exploded from so much emotion, I hit the large button that pressurized the airlock enough for the doors to open to the ocean outside. I really, really hoped that I would prove somewhat uncrushable, like Angel did. The door cracked open below me, and I saw the first dark glint of frigid water.